Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Libra for the month of April 2021. I hope all my Libra friends are doing great. I hope the month of March was really strong for you. I hope you took lots of action and put a lot of intentions out there to manifest many wonderful things. As you know, this is a general reading. There will be some parts that do not resonate. Only take the parts that do and leave the rest behind. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today, dear Libra. In the past position, we do have the Eight of Wands, clarified by the Five of Wands. In the obstacle position, we have the World, clarified by the King of Cups. In the present position, we have the Moon, clarified by the Seven of Cups. And in the future outcome position, we do have the Knight of Cups, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So in the past position, you took a lot of action because the Eight of Wands indicates taking fast action, taking swift action. We don't actually see any people in this card because it's all about movement. It's all about taking advantage of an opportunity at a specific time to make sure that you reap the rewards, to make sure that you get all that fortune that is coming to you as a result of taking action in the past. When you receive the card of Eight of Wands, it does suggest to me that in the past you kind of enjoyed change. You kind of enjoyed perhaps traveling, perhaps learning new hobbies or new things. But this is a really kind of positive card, very optimistic one as well. And it's clarified here by the Five of Wands, which is all about standing up for the things that you believe in. It's also about being competitive and realizing that, you know, in reality, in this physical world that we live in, you know, it's important to be competitive and kind of like be on top of your game so that you're always ready to go. When the opportunity knocks on the door, you don't really need to get ready because you're, you know, kind of always ready. When you get the Five of Wands in the past position, it suggests that perhaps in the past you did feel a little bit burdened by a lot of changing things in your life. However, it actually taught you a lot of important skills and knowledge and information from which you continue to benefit today. Now, in the obstacle position, we do have the World, and it is a major arcana card, which suggests to me that, you know, it is a bit of a significant obstacle. Minor arcana cards, generally for the time period, it's a few days. Major arcana cards, it's usually a few weeks. They last, that effect kind of lasts a few weeks. But the World in the obstacle position suggests that something is not going to be completed. There's not a new beginning that is coming about. Definitely there is a delay when you have the World in the obstacle position. Definitely there is a little bit of a setback. It could be that you were responsible for creating the delay. It could be that someone else inadvertently created a delay for you. Perhaps there is a little bit of fear. Perhaps you are trying to kind of postpone some sort of an ending, some sort of a completion that is coming because you're not ready for that new cycle. That could also be a possibility. And of course, the World here is clarified by the King of Cups. The King of Cups is all about our connections with other people. Because of course the cups are represented by water, and water is representative of emotions. So when you have the King of Cups in the obstacle position, definitely it could be that you're suppressing something important, suppressing some feelings, some emotions, which of course then get you a little bit off course, and you want to make sure that you address those emotions that may be uncomfortable for you, so that they come into the light out of the shadow, because only then the progress can occur. Usually when you get the King of Cups in the obstacle position, there is a little bit of selfish behavior associated with that. There is a little bit of too much narcissism as well when you get the King of Cups. It could be someone in your everyday life that is also showing this behavior, and that is affecting you in a way where you cannot complete or do not feel ready to complete an important cycle that the divine here is suggesting should be completed, so you're able to move forward, to achieve new goals, to achieve new dreams. The King of Cups could sometimes, when we have him in the obstacle position, could sometimes also kind of point to overindulgence, meaning that you could be seeking too much attention, or you could be seeking, spending some time on something that is not very healthy for you. But definitely it is a bit of an obstacle, especially when you have a major arcana in this position. Now, in the present position, we do have the Moon, which is another interesting card, also major arcana card. The Moon, as we all know, is of course about the unknown. Usually when we don't know, like if there's a place we haven't been to, we have a little bit of fear going there, right? Because it is the unknown, and if it is unknown, it is uncomfortable to us. The Moon also sometimes hides a little bit of deceit and a little bit of secrets as well. So usually when you get the Moon card in your reading, it's calls to you to follow your intuition and to find a balance between logic and intuition, because sometimes logic does not work, especially when we find ourselves in confusing relationships or confusing situations, because the Moon brings confusion. Not everything is seen. There are elements that are being hidden from us. Sometimes the towers can mean, they mean different things. They mean good and evil, so having to choose between, right and wrong. Sometimes the towers also represent the conscious and the subconscious, what you see versus what you don't see, what you are aware of and are able to understand versus what you're not aware of and are unable to understand. Definitely the Moon brings out insecurities, and when there are insecurities, people are a little bit tense and stressed and have anxiety. So you want to make sure throughout the month of April you meditate, you drink plenty of water, you take your vitamins, you take walks in nature, make sure you ground yourself, and kind of connect with that intuition, connect with that inner voice, because ultimately the answer to a relationship or to a situation is already inside of you. And if you decide this is the answer, then that is the answer. If you decide a different outcome should take place, then that is what is going to happen. But it is definitely very huge omen in order to reconnect with your subconscious, to uncover those suppressed emotions. Most importantly, pay attention to your dreams, because usually when we receive the Moon card, the divine calls us to pay attention to different signs that are happening around us. You want to make sure that you kind of balance that anxiety with resting and taking care of yourself. And it is interesting that the Moon here is clarified by the Seven of Cups, because the Seven of Cups similarly is also about illusion. It's also about making that choice, because there are many choices in front of you, but really not knowing which direction to move towards to. And so of course you then reach to your intuition, you ask your inner voice to guide you in the direction that you want to move toward. The warning with the Seven of Cups is primarily about managing your time. You want to make sure that you manage your time well, and that you don't focus too much on details or on tasks that ultimately are not going to bring you the big rewards. So make sure that you're not wasting time on things that are not really going to move you forward in the direction that you need to go. The great thing is that in the future outcome position, you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups sometimes is known to bring a really wonderful message, but the Knight of Cups is really great for relationships. Usually when you see this card, it means that you're going to have a really strong bond with someone who is important to you, or if you already, like if there's a particular relationship that is of concern, it means that that bond is going to be reinforced. But overall, the Knight of Cups is a really positive omen. The Two of Pentacles here is another reminder of balance. Here, the divine here suggests that you want to make sure to balance your relationships. You want to make sure that you connect with important people in your life. And of course, with the pandemic and, you know, the world being in the state that it is today, sometimes it's difficult to connect with people that really matter to us. But the Two of Pentacles could also be an omen for change, that as things kind of are thrown at you, make sure that you adjust and adapt and go with the flow, because ultimately you have a wonderful message coming your way, as we see with the Knight of Cups. Let's see what energy oracle cards I pulled, and we have Caring Connections, Woman Holding a Heart, and Yin Yang. You do have a lot of wonderful energies around you, Libra. Make sure to reach out for advice. Make sure to connect with people just to share experiences, because it's important in the world where everyone is kind of far away from each other and disconnected. It's important to really do something together if you can, with your family members, with your friends, in order to rebuild that social connection that is so important for us as people, because it gives us creativity, it gives us ideas, it gives us, you know, even support, which is very important. And of course, woman holding a heart could represent a friend or a relative, but someone in your someone in your life who is able to kind of help you with advice regarding family matters, regarding friendships. Sometimes, you know, it's important to hear advice to see what someone else can kind of suggest to us, so that we're able to use as much information as we can moving forward. And of course, the Yin Yang is a card of balance. It is the card of subconscious and conscious. It's a card of making sure that you integrate your shadow into yourself, so that you are kind of aligned with your spirit, your mind, and your body, because when you are aligned, you're able to manifest things into your life much easier. Let's see what mystical wisdom cards I pulled. I pulled 2 mystical wisdom cards, and we have Confrontation, pick your battles wisely, and Letting Go, learn to let go. The best way to learn to let go is imagine yourself of being a tree. Just imagine that you're a tree and things are just kind of flying by you, or walking by you, or moving by you, and you are just observing life. When you learn to practice to be in that state, you will realize that you're becoming much more balanced and things are much easier to manifest. But it takes some hard work, because we are very much attached. We always want to know what's going to happen. We want to know the details of many different things, and the universe here is teaching us that there are mysterious ways in which the universe works. So allow the universe to do its thing, and you should focus on making sure that you are moving in the direction of your own goals and your own dreams, and letting everything else sort of take care of itself, because ultimately your primary responsibility is, of course, you. And of course, when you have the Confrontation card, sometimes confrontations are unavoidable, but the great thing is sometimes confrontations clear the air. So definitely you want to make sure to address anything that may be holding your progress back, anything that may be creating some delays and some setbacks. But the wonderful thing is that we see the rainbow in this card. card. So if you are going to have a confrontation in the month of April, it will resolve in your favor. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Libra. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I will see you next time.